So, the film begins with a convent sister who is praying in front of a picture of Mother Mary and asking for forgiveness for the sin she is about to commit. After this, she wrote something behind a picture of Mother Mary and then, picking up her bag, she stole the keys from her in charge's room and reached the gate of the convent to escape. She was still trying to open the lock when suddenly some people wearing black gowns and red masks came to catch her. Panicked by seeing them, she tries to get out through the holes in the gate without opening it. But one of the masked people from behind grabs her leg, gets it stuck in the gate, and breaks it. The intensity of the pain was so much that she fainted. When she regained consciousness, she was in a coffin. She had not thought that she would receive such a severe punishment for her crime. She kept trying to get out of the coffin. She cried and screamed, but no one listened to her. And finally, she suffocated to death in that very coffin. After which, the scene cuts and we are shown Sister Cecilia in the same convent. This convent was in Italy, and Sister Cecilia had come here from the US. When Sister Cecilia is asked about coming here from so far away, she replies that a very strange incident happened to me in childhood. I had fallen into a lake and died. My heart had stopped for 7 minutes. The doctors had even declared me dead. But after 7 minutes, I got my life back. My heart started beating, and it was nothing short of a miracle. I felt that God gave me life for a special purpose, and I have come here to find that purpose. The Mother Superior also seemed quite happy with Sister Cecilia's arrival. However, she could understand very little of what Sister Cecilia was saying because Sister Cecilia spoke English, and everyone here knew Italian. Mother Superior's assistant, Sister Isabel, understood everything Sister Cecilia was saying because she knew English. But she didn't say anything because she didn't like Sister Cecilia's arrival here. Sister Cecilia is now given a tour of the convent and is told that this convent is especially for those sisters who grow old while fulfilling their responsibilities. They are taken care of here until they die. The sister explains that all of us young sisters are here to take care of these old sisters. They were walking and talking when an old nun came and asked Sister Cecilia, "Have you seen my dad?" Actually, this sister was mentally unstable. Sister Isabel coaxes her away from there, and in this way, Cecilia also understands her work here. After this, Sister Isabel comes and takes Sister Cecilia to her room and says that you don't need to take vows tonight. Stay here for one night and see. If you want to leave, you can. God will forgive you too. Sister Cecilia didn't understand her words at all. She ignores them and takes her vows as night falls. It was here that Sister Cecilia also met Father Sal, who had given her the invitation to come here. The two of them start talking, and Father Sal tells her about himself, that he was a biologist before coming here. They were both drinking wine at this time. Sister Cecilia was telling Father Sal a story from her childhood when she died and came back to life, when suddenly the world around them changes. She reaches the place where they had just taken their vows, and there, a person was praying in a strange way, lying on the ground, and was wearing a red mask on their face. When Cecilia asked her the reason for lying down, she didn't know what to say because she was speaking in another language. Cecilia could only understand that this masked person was a woman. She was about to leave in a panic when the Mother Superior came to Sister Cecilia. She shows her the holy nail with which Jesus was crucified. Cecilia was so shocked to see this nail that she even fainted. After this, Cecilia found herself in front of the senior father, and at that time, Cecilia was confessing that she had drunk too much wine at night, which had caused her to be embarrassed in front of the Mother Superior. She had just said this when suddenly some hands came tearing through the back wall and dragged her away from there. After which, she finds herself lying in a strange room and sees the same women in front of her who are wearing large black gowns and red masks. These people were touching Cecilia's body strangely, and just then, Cecilia's eyes opened in fear. Here, Sister Cecilia learns that she had fainted after her vows and was now regaining consciousness. At this time, there was no one with her, but suddenly she saw a person standing in the dark. When she turned on the light, he disappeared. That's why Cecilia ignored it. But from the next day, Cecilia starts her routine work, begins to serve the elders. She is also taught the work here. She learns all the tasks quickly, but she is unable to learn how to slaughter chickens. The days pass by like this, and one day, an elder sister dies in front of her. Seeing them, no one was as sad as Cecilia was, because this was happening for the first time in front of Cecilia, while for others, it had become routine. Cecilia also tries to compose herself, and during this time, she encounters Sister Isabel several times, who just looks at her with hatred, and Sister Cecilia doesn't understand the meaning of this at all. Cecilia is sleeping in her room at night when an elder sister comes to her and suddenly grabs her hair and cuts it. Because of all this, when Cecilia wakes up, the elder sister tells her, "We all love you very much." Cecilia thought that the elder sister must be unwell. So, she goes and lays the elder sister on her bed and notices something very strange. There were crucifix marks on both her feet. Marks as if someone had heated a crucifix and placed it on her feet. The routine work continued as usual, and one day, Cecilia's health deteriorates. She starts vomiting, and the doctor is called immediately. Many of her tests are also done. Although it was just normal diarrhea, she still had a urine test done, and Sister Cecilia found this quite strange. While thinking about all these things, Sister Cecilia was noticing the same masked woman outside her window who always used to roam outside her room, as if she was there to guard her. She was just thinking about all this when suddenly a raven comes, gets her window, and dies, and Sister Cecilia gets scared. A little later, Sister Cecilia is called to the meeting hall. She gets scared because no sister was ever called to the meeting hall like this. And on top of that, the questions being asked in the meeting scared her even more. The father was angry with her, saying that she had broken her vows, that she had a physical relationship with someone. Crying, Cecilia swears that she has not had a physical relationship with anyone. The father says, "Okay, so maybe it didn't happen here. But you still lied to us about being a virgin. For all we know, you were with someone before you came." Cecilia swears that she has always been a virgin. Here, the doctor also supports Cecilia and states that when she arrived here, he himself had tested her. She was a virgin. At this time, she had noticed that the Mother Superior had a file in her hand with her photo on it. After all the questions and answers were over, she puts this file in the drawer. And despite such intense questions, Cecilia notices that everyone had become strangely happy. Cecilia asks, "What happened?" Cecilia isn't told anything. Instead, an ultrasound is performed, and she is shown that she is currently pregnant, just like Mother Mary, without having a physical relationship with anyone. Everyone believed that Cecilia was now going to give birth to a holy child. Sister Cecilia gets very confused and asks Father Sal, "But why me?" Father Sal says, "Perhaps because God has chosen you. You yourself say that God saved you. Maybe this is God's greater purpose." Their words had silenced Cecilia, but she was not convinced. Anyway, Cecilia is now given a status like a queen in this convent. Her nun's clothes are taken off, and she is made to wear very beautiful gowns, and all the other nuns stand before her and pray. Cecilia had noticed that everyone was praying except for two sisters, Sister Gwen and Sister Isabel. She knew that Sister Gwen had no belief in God. She had come to this church only to improve her circumstances, whereas why Isabel was angry with her was confusing her a lot. Anyway, time passes, and about 6 months go by like this. Despite the passage of 6 months, there is no improvement in Cecilia's health. The issues that girls typically face at the beginning of pregnancy were still happening to Cecilia. Today, even her tooth breaks while vomiting, and this doesn't seem normal to her. Anyway, after feeling better, Cecilia goes for breakfast and sees that all the nuns stand up in her respect, as always, except for two nuns. At the breakfast table, we see that Sister Isabel was looking at Sister Cecilia with eyes full of anger and jealousy. And to end this jealousy, she plans to eliminate Cecilia herself and tries to drown her in the bathtub while Cecilia is bathing. But other people arrive just in time and save Sister Cecilia. While the other sisters were dragging Sister Isabel away from here, Sister Isabel kept telling Sister Cecilia, "I should have been in your place right now. They should have tried again with me." What attempts was she talking about? Cecilia gets confused. Anyway, doctors come to the convent today to check on Sister Cecilia. She gets an ultrasound, and they learn the baby is perfectly healthy. But Sister Cecilia says, "I am not well at all. My tooth broke while vomiting this morning. I am still experiencing things that happened in the first trimester, and now I need to go to a hospital and get proper treatment from another doctor. But Father Sal tells her, we cannot take you to an outside hospital because if other doctors find out about this, the news will spread very quickly. And we want to keep this a secret for now for this reason. Sister Cecilia also falls silent. After the checkup, as soon as Sister Cecilia came out of that room, she saw two women wearing red masks standing inside Sister Isabel's room. They were also looking at Sister Cecilia. As Sister Cecilia ignored it and started to walk away, she heard someone fall. She turned back and saw that those women had killed poor Sister Isabel by throwing her down from there. This was Sister Isabel's punishment for trying to kill Sister Cecilia. When Sister Cecilia goes near the dead body, she sees injury marks on Sister Isabel's mouth and legs, which means these people had tortured Sister Isabel before as well. Anyway, after a while, Sister Isabel's funeral takes place, and then Sister Gwen, who doesn't believe in God, comes to Sister Cecilia and says, "Open your eyes. What's happening here is not what you're being told." Before she could tell Sister Cecilia the whole truth, Dr. Sal comes and stops her, changing the subject. And shouting loudly, she begins to tell everyone the truth about this convent. But before she could succeed in her mission, the other nuns drag her away from here. Cecilia was now very confused about what it was that she didn't know. During these thoughts, the picture of Mother Mary in her room breaks and falls. She noticed that something was written on the back of this picture, and it was written by the same sister shown at the beginning. It was a Bible verse. Reading this verse confirmed to Sister Cecilia that something wrong was going on here. While reading the verse, Cecilia had guessed that the child in her womb, which she considered a blessing, could also be a curse. To find answers to her questions, she now goes to Sister Gwen's room. But Sister Gwen wasn't there. We know that, like all the previous sisters, she will also be killed here. At this time, Cecilia remembers that when she received the news of her pregnancy, the Mother Superior had a file with her picture on it. She goes to the office, takes out the file, and is shocked to see that this picture contained every little piece of information about her, from her dying and coming back to life, to which school she attended, which college she went to, what time she came and went from home. Every piece of information was there. And these people already knew that Cecilia was a virgin, and they had planned to bring Cecilia here to this convent through Father Sal. Just as Cecilia was processing all this, she heard strange noises from behind a door. Through the peephole of the door, she saw that Sister Gwen was tied up inside, and the same nuns in red masks, or let's say the security guards here, were torturing Gwen, and they brutally pulled out her tongue with a tool. Before Cecilia could scream after seeing all this, someone comes from behind and covers her mouth. It was the same elder sister who often used to come to Cecilia's room. Crying, Cecilia tells them, "I want to get out of here," as Sister explains to her that you will never be able to get out of here now. These things confirmed for her that something very bad would happen to her if she stayed here. So the next morning, she makes a plan. Loud screams are heard from her room, and everyone quickly goes to her room. There was a lot of blood on her body, which scared them because they thought Cecilia's baby was in danger. Cecilia knew that the doctor did not come to the convent 3 days a week, which is why she had chosen today. Seeing her condition, the father and nuns have to decide to take Cecilia out of the convent to the hospital. After she leaves, the Mother Superior starts kissing the blood on her bed and gets a familiar smell from the blood. So she looks under the bed and finds a dead chicken, and she understands that this blood is from the chicken and Cecilia has created all this drama to escape from here. Therefore, she immediately calls Father Sal and tells him all this. Cecilia, who did not know this, was looking for an opportunity to get out of this car and run away. As soon as she got the chance, she opened the car door and ran away from there. But no matter how much she ran, there were fields far and wide with no place to hide. So Father Sal soon caught her with his companion, and she is brought back to the convent and bathed. Father Sal now tries to tell her the truth so that Cecilia gives up the idea of escaping from here. He explains that he was a biologist before coming to the convent. When I came to this convent, I found the holy nail here. This holy nail had Jesus' blood and many of his body tissues, from which we got Jesus' DNA. He explains that using this DNA, I tried to create another son of Jesus Christ. Saying this, he took Cecilia to his lab, where many small fetuses were kept. He explains that these are all the fetuses that did not survive. He says that for 20 years, this experiment kept failing, and on you, this experiment succeeded. Cecilia understood that this was no miracle, nor had God chosen them. This was their plan, and they had been keeping an eye on Cecilia all along. The moment Cecilia lost consciousness after taking her vows that night, she understood that she had been deliberately drugged with something mixed in her wine, and that the experiment must have been performed on her at that very time. Now, because Cecilia had also made the mistake of trying to escape, she deserved to be punished. But unlike how everyone in the convent was punished and killed before, Cecilia would not be killed because, according to them, she has the Holy Child inside her body. They now heat the crucifix and place it on Cecilia's foot. And Cecilia remembers seeing the same crucifix on an elder sister's foot. This means she must have also tried to escape from here during her pregnancy. Connecting the dots, Cecilia also understands that all the elder nuns here are not brought to serve them, but were first brought here to fulfill their purpose and then kept here. This convent was a prison. No one was ever allowed to leave. Cecilia understands that she will never be able to escape from this convent now. Therefore, she starts living quietly in this convent, and the days pass by, and the time for 9 months later also arrives. Stranger things were happening to Cecilia as her body began rotting. Her nails would rot off and her hair would fall out. Her skin had completely deteriorated too. She now goes to the senior father and says that the things happening to me mean I don't have the Holy Child inside me, and God does not want what you all are doing at all. Then the father replies that if God didn't want this, why would he let it happen? Cecilia understood that these people would not listen to her, so she once again thought of carrying out her plan, that is, to escape from here. While the Mother Superior was performing her ultrasound, she killed the Mother Superior with the cross she was holding in her hand. As she started to run from there, she began to feel immense pain and understood that this was the time she would give birth to this child. Cecilia was about to escape from here when the senior father came from behind and strangled her to death with a chain she was wearing around her neck. The doctor sees this and flees. Now, Cecilia enters the lab, intending to destroy it before leaving. She had also sprinkled ethanol all over the lab, but before she could finish, Father Sal arrived and started to stop her. But instead of understanding him, Cecilia tricks him, throws him inside the room, locks the door securely from the outside, and throws a lighter inside the room, setting it on fire. She thought that Father Sal must also be dead by now, so she could easily escape from here. But just then, Father Sal managed to save himself, came out of that room, and started chasing Cecilia. While running, Cecilia went to a strange place. It was some kind of cave-like place. When she went inside, she found the body of Sister Gwen, who had wanted to help her escape from here before. Escape the window. But Father Sal was there. Father Sal drags her down and begins to operate on her, cutting her stomach with a knife in his hand to get the Holy Child. But Cecilia doesn't let him succeed in his plan, and with the holy nail she was holding, stabbing him in the neck, she takes his life and finally gets out of the convent. Her own condition had also deteriorated significantly. Writhing in pain, she gave birth to a child. She had cut her own umbilical cord with her teeth, and now it was time to see her baby. Her baby looked horrifying and was making sounds like a demon. She understood that this child was not a blessing but a curse, according to that verse in the Bible. If this child had lived, it would have become the Antichrist and brought only destruction to the world. That's why Cecilia suppressed her maternal instincts, picked up a large rock, and crushed the baby to death. Thus, she had saved the world from the coming of an Antichrist, and it also fulfilled God's special purpose. Crying, she runs away from there, and just like that, the story ends here.